MJF was caught doing what?
What?
John Cena was caught wearing what?
What?
MJF again was caught signing someone's what?
What?
Yeah, so today on Wrestle Juice, we're going to talk about the grand tradition of celebrities signing the body parts of their fans. This goes back to, I don't know, probably like the 70s, Led Zeppelin's era. I feel like they probably would have been doing a lot of this, where rock stars usually would be the ones who are requested to autograph the body parts, usually like the bosom area of their female fans, often known as groupies, although I don't know if that term is appropriate anymore. There's probably some fancier term so as not to offend said groupies. It's a way for these fans to get a little piece of the magic that is these rock stars on their own body parts. I don't really understand it, but I'm not going to judge anybody. Evidently, MJF is now considered part of the rock star elite because he tweeted this out the other day. Some lady in El Paso tried to get me to sign her breasts outside the arena. Multiple people recorded it, still hasn't made its way to Twitter. Well, eventually it did. Let's head over to the footage. Two things to note about this footage. Number one, I have strategically placed my camera so said bosom will not get my channel here at YouTube deleted. Number two, as I stated, Juan here, Johnny John Juan is his Twitter handle, seems to be rocking an iPhone 4 because this video is just pixelated all to hell. It really is lousy footage, probably for the better. We're in the back of some parking lot area where the fans are separated from the AEW superstars, MJF being the AEW superstar in question here. He walks up and this girl's like, "Hey, can you sign my body parts? Do you have a Sharpie?" And he's like, "No, ma'am, I'm sorry, I don't. However, if you had one, I would have done that." And he starts to walk away, and I think he calls her something like, "Nice young lady." As he walks away, a couple other fans say, "Wait, we have Sharpie. We want to see you sign this lady." So that causes MJF to come back. And when he does, he gets the Sharpie. Let's take a look. Oh, there's the Sharpie. And then he says this.
You're recording? Yeah?
Oh, he got caught. See, here's the thing about MJF is that he is super engaged right now. And if there's one way that he could potentially piss off his wife-to-be, maybe you shouldn't be going around signing people's boo-boos. Let's continue talking about MJF, because if you remember, MJF cut this really fantastic promo on last week's Dynamite where he talks about committing a crime, basically. So apparently back in high school, as he explains it in this promo, MJF was driving really fast, got into a gnarly accident, and then switched seats with his date to make it look like she was the one who was at fault in this accident. Well, according to a number of sources, this just ended with people contacting the Nassau Police Department. Apparently, they had over 300 phone calls following the promo by MJF. The police have released a statement saying they'll be investigating the claims, but believed it was to do with a fictional story on a television show. I don't know if there was ever actually an official police statement that came out saying that this was true. And in fact, Mark Raimondi, who's like a journalist guy for ESPN, said this, not to break kayfabe, but I contacted the Nassau County Police Department and reports that hundreds of people have called about the MJF promo from AEW don't seem to be true. The public information officer didn't know what I was talking about and said such calls would go to his office. I've heard from several people who have said there is truth to the original story. Hold on a second. That seems to be bearing the lead a little bit. So you're telling me that this MJF story might have actually had some truth to it? He says, either way, it was a phenomenal, sinister, disturbing promo, blah, blah, blah. I just thought it was a crazy story he invented because he had to do a bad guy promo. But according to Mark Raimondi, I've heard from several people who have said there is truth to the original story. Which original story? That people were calling the police department, which he just seems to say didn't happen, or the fact that MJF totally switched seats with his prom date after crashing his car. Yeesh. Another person who got caught, John Cena, albeit doing something a bit more innocuous. He was just wearing a skirt, heels, and pantyhose. Seemingly, this was actually, there was a reason for this, and it was because he's filming a new movie called Peter Stanicky, which is from the Farrelly brothers, which you'll remember they made something about Mary, Dumb and Dumber, and a bunch of other stuff that I don't think a lot of people remember. Anyways, he's in this movie along with Zac Efron, and apparently it's about three friends who got into a bunch of trouble through their teenage years and beyond, and blamed it on this mysterious character named Ricky Stanicky. So that sounds like it's probably going to be a funny movie because the Farrelly brothers are great and John Cena's great. Another person who's great is Los Angeles referee Johnny Red Shoes Duggan, who showed off his burn after catching a fireball from the Sheik. The wound is quite real, having used a towel and sandpaper to scrape the skin off his face. Oh my, look at this. This is horrifying. Johnny Red Shoes Duggan and scraping his actual skin away with a towel and sandpaper, which I don't know why you need the towel. I think you just need the sandpaper. Of course, Elimination Chamber is coming up this coming Saturday, and a lot of you are asking me, hey, Steve, what do you think they're going to do with Roman Reigns, given that Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso aren't going to be allowed in Canada because of the DUI situation? Well, guess what? According to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, he heard that both Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso are cleared for Canada. Could they tell some sort of story without the Uso brothers there? Yeah, probably. Paul Heyman has already told them to stay at home. Will they? If they're cleared for Canada, I think they're kind of a vital part of the story, and I fully expect them to show up at Elimination Chamber and play into the finish of the match. We think that Jey Uso might be on Sammy's side, but in the end, is he really going to choose Sammy over Roman Reigns? Probably not. Interested to see what goes down at Elimination Chamber. I've had a bunch of stuff planned this week for Elimination Chamber, including predictions, and I don't know, maybe I'll do like a tier rank or something. I really don't have anything planned. One guy who probably won't be in Canada for Elimination Chamber because I don't think he's booked for a match there, but I guess it's possible he could be there, is Cody Rhodes. And I was kind of interested in this comment here from Eric Bischoff, his opinion on why WWE is pushing Cody Rhodes. He had something, I guess, kind of interesting to say. He said, I'm going to put on my conspiracy hat right on here because I've been in the room and I've heard certain conversations throughout my entire career, enough for them to lead me to believe there's always a little something else behind the scenes. If I was running WWE and this AEW thing comes along and there's this little fight going back and forth, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring Cody back and I'm going to make him the biggest star ever in 7 minutes so that everybody in AEW is going, damn, I should have jumped first. So, Eric Bischoff believes WWE is pushing Cody Rhodes to get people at AEW to regret being in AEW. They're like, oh, we should have gone to WWE because they would give me the Cody Rhodes push. I kind of feel like it's actually a different reason, Eric. I feel like the reason Cody Rhodes is being pushed, stay with me now, is because he gets a really, really great response from the fans. Look, when Cody Rhodes was doing his contract negotiations with WWE, it was all anybody could talk about in the world of wrestling. That had to make WWE think, hey, wow, this guy we might be onto something getting Cody back here. People like his story. People like his legacy. People like his history. Fans in AEW don't really like him, but we're not going to worry about that. We'll just see how he does in WWE. Now, if Cody showed up at WrestleMania with that great elevator entrance and all that stuff, I kind of feel like if the crowd shit on it, WWE wouldn't be giving him that big push right now. I feel like if he showed up and people were like, no, fuck you, Cody, you still suck. I don't think he'd be getting the push right now. I kind of feel like the fans really like Cody, and so WWE's really pushing Cody because he fills in all the other things. He's a good wrestler. He's a great promo. He's got the look. He's got the legacy. He's got the history. He loves Triple H so much so that he made fun of his throne and he broke it with a big sledgehammer, unironically. So I kind of feel like all those reasons are much more obvious, common sense reasons as to why WWE's pushing Cody Rhodes as opposed to let's make people at AEW regret that they're at AEW. Like not everybody's going to get the Cody Rhodes push. He literally checks all those different things off the proverbial boxes. That's my conspiracy hat right there. I think they're behind the scenes going, man, this guy's really popular. We had a house show that was doing dog shit numbers and then we advertised Cody Rhodes and guess what? It sold out. That happened. I didn't run WCW and I can tell you that one. You know who's not happy being AEW apparently? Lance Archer, who tweeted this out. It's been 51 days since I've laced up the boots. Not by my choice. Lance Archer's great. I don't know why he's not on TV. He should be featured all the time. You know who I really don't want to see back? Alex Riley, who apparently he came back to like NWA, and then he did this right here. I'll be honest with you. This is I'll just say this. It makes this joke a little more palatable. This is exactly what would have happened to me had I attempted a dive like this. Here it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, why did it give me technical difficulties? Come back, damn you. He takes off the shirt, he throws it to the crowd, and there he goes. I can only imagine the sound he's making had this video continuous. My bones. I'm so old and I haven't done this in a long time. Ouch. Anyways, that's going to do it with my journey through wrestling Reddit. By the way, I just want to make a note of this. We Wrestle Juice has a subreddit, and that's where I cross post all the stuff that I'm going to look at on this usually weekly venture down into wrestling internet. So if you want to post stuff there, feel free to join. It's I don't have any bells and whistles. There's no like rules. There's no like friggin' like banner art or anything like that. It's just there. If you want to cross post stuff to it, I'll take a look at it. Just don't be a dick and don't put stuff that I don't want to see there. Just try to read my mind. Check out this video over here. Sub to the channel. Hit that like button. If you like this, hit that like button.